Let's embark to the most enigmatic corners of our planet. Our first stop takes us deep into the ice layers at the South Pole, where we will explore the extraordinary life forms that have been isolated for millions of years, following their unique evolutionary path. Next, we'll soar over the Sahara Desert to uncover the secrets hidden beneath its ancient sands, including the mysterious icy Golden Tower. We'll also delve into the chilling depths of the Kola super-deep holes, where Soviet scientists made terrifying discoveries that could change your perception of our planet. And finally, we'll venture to the deepest seaport on Earth to unravel the mysteries of the deep sea. Of course, we can't forget the legends surrounding the three gorges of the Whitewood. Let's see if they truly live up to their reputation of planes and ships disappearing without a trace. Around 53 million years ago, the climate in this region was as warm as spring, with pine trees covering the coast. The temperature remained above 20 degrees Celsius for years. However, the passage of time brought about a dramatic change. Recently, the temperature here has plummeted to a staggering 90 degrees Celsius below zero. A 3-kilometre thick ice layer now blankets 99% of the surface, concealing approximately 70% of the Earth's water resources. While the surface has been extensively studied, the most intriguing secrets lie hidden in the depths. In the late 19th century, Russian scientist Peter Kropotkin proposed a theory that there was water beneath the ice at the South Pole. He believed that the immense pressure exerted by the thousands of square meters of ice could prevent the lowest layer from melting, transforming it into liquid water. Soon enough, this theory was proven true. By the end of 2021, around 400 such lakes had been discovered, with the Vostok Lake, also known as the Eastern Lake, being the most remarkable. In 1966, scientists speculated, based on satellite images, that a massive reservoir lay beneath the ice, 4 kilometers behind the Eastern Station in Russia. This speculation was confirmed in 1996, along with the lake's boundaries. The Eastern Lake stretches 250 kilometers in length and 50 kilometers in width, covering an area of approximately 12,500 square kilometers. Its depth is estimated to range between 600 and 1,200 meters, making it the deepest bay on Earth, buried 4,000 meters beneath the ice. It's truly unbelievable how this vast expanse remains hidden from our sight. What's even more astonishing is that the water in the lake has been sealed for 15 to 25 million years due to the immense pressure exerted by the ice layers above. The environment of the Eastern Lake is rich in nitrogen and oxygen, thanks to the massive ice layer on the mainland. This layer creates an air pressure about 350 times greater than that of a normal water lake, resulting in nitrogen and oxygen concentrations 50 times higher. To put it into perspective, the pressure in a car tyre is only 2 times greater. Such extreme pressure poses a significant challenge to the survival of any living creatures that may exist there. What secrets lie hidden within this mysterious place? In 1989, scientists began drilling a well in an attempt to unveil these secrets. 10 years later, they discovered one of the longest ice cores in the world, measuring 3,623 meters in length. The ice from the layer near the lake is estimated to be around 420,000 years old. However, drilling was halted when they reached approximately 100 meters from the lake to prevent contamination. Scientists submitted the final environmental assessment report to the South Pole Environment Protection Committee and obtained permission to continue extracting samples from ancient lakes. In February 2012, the head of the Russian South Pole exploration team, Mali Lukhan, announced that they were only 50 meters away from the Eastern Lake. At that point, a hot diamond sensor detected the presence of liquid water. The diamond was then retrieved from the well, and a few months later, samples were sent to the lab for further analysis. Before 1998, a team led by Sickert Regess from the University of Göttingen discovered 3,507 unique genes in a 507-metre-long ice field, located approximately 170 metres from the Eastern Lake. However, this discovery faced scepticism from the scientific community. The environment of the Eastern Lake, isolated by ice for millions of years, may share similar conditions with the oceans beneath Jupiter's moon, Europa, and Saturn's moon, Enceladus. Despite the vastness and mysteries of the Eastern Lake, common sense tells us to begin exploring from bodies of water closer to us. Therefore, scientists have turned their attention to the study of William Smith Lake. Unlike other lakes, the weight of the ice layer does not cause the water to rise, resulting in the lake being situated on a slope. This thin layer of water, only 2 meters deep, covers an area of approximately 60 square kilometers and is sustained by low pressure. Scientists broke through the ice and made contact with the lake, causing the high-pressure water to rush into the well and fill its bottom. A day later, they collected samples from the lake and captured photos using cameras. The results revealed the presence of various bacteria. Due to the lake's location approximately 800 meters below the ice, there is no sunlight. The microorganisms that inhabit this environment, such as chemosynthetic bacteria, derive energy from the chemical reactions between nuclear material and woogie. Meanwhile, plant-like organisms and algae, similar to geoducks, utilize solar energy in the presence of light and water. This marks the first successful extraction of such high-quality samples from the South Pole. In 2019, researchers explored another ice water reservoir, Mose Lake, located 600 kilometers south of the South Pole. They collected a 1,067-metre-long ice core sample and soil samples from the lake's bottom. Upon microscopic examination, the exploration team discovered long, filamentous structures resembling mushrooms or plants. Additionally, they observed the remains of slow-moving animals and geoducks. This discovery is particularly surprising, as no one expected to find more complex organisms beyond single-celled animals in this environment. If the survival of marine life, such as bacteria, is based on the turtle's pace, then the total area of glaciers on Earth spans approximately 25 to 30 million square kilometers. Just imagine, if we were to gather all the glaciers in one place, the resulting ice layer, 1 kilometer thick, would surpass the entire land area of North America. What would happen if all this ice were to melt? Of course, such a scenario wouldn't occur overnight. However, the latest data is quite alarming. In 2019, the United Nations released a scientific report on the oceans and the cryosphere, drawing global attention. The research indicates that even the melting of small glaciers could be equivalent to the ice loss on Greenland. For instance, between 2006 and 2015, Greenland lost approximately 280 billion tons of ice annually, while the rest of the glaciers lost 220 billion tons each year. During the same period, the South Pole only lost 550 billion tons. In recent years, the overall rate of sea level rise has increased by 3.6 mm per year. Although this may seem insignificant, the impact of climate change is gradually accumulating and could suddenly intensify. Forecasts suggest that the rate of ice melting will accelerate, with NASA predicting a sea level rise of 90 centimetres in the near future. Now, let's imagine the consequences if all the ice were to melt overnight. Scientists at the University of California, Owen, have made predictions for this future scenario. If all the ice on the South Island were to melt, the sea level would rise by 7.4 metres. The melting of the ice on the South Pole would result in a staggering 58-metre rise, and all the ice melting on the Earth will rise by 65 metres. So which land will it retain? The weather changes. The model shows all the coastal areas of the mainland will be flooded. the face of the Earth will change. A lot of land will be covered by water. For example, Florida will disappear. Holland has been fighting with the seawater for decades, but in the end, it will also fall. So is Denmark. Many areas in Northern Europe will disappear. St. Petersburg will be flooded. Venice will eventually sink into the water. The Lehigh will become the real ocean. Although now it is actually a huge lake because it is not connected to the ocean. After all the glaciers melt, the Black Sea will cover the eastern part of the Gaugasso region and form a new Isis-Tan-Bur Strait connected to the ocean. Its area will almost double. China will be affected by huge flood. Part of the land will be flooded. The water will flood the large land of Vietnam and the Philippines. The land of South America is also in decline. The Amazon River in Brazil is no longer there. Instead, it is a huge seabed. This will greatly change the shape of the mainland. Likewise, the Bala Nach and Ulaanbaatar, located in the southwestern part of the country, will also become seabed. In the case of Buenos Aires, at least 100 kilometers deep inland areas are submerged together. Compared with this, Africa will lose the least land, but this is not something to celebrate. The rise of the sea level will further increase the air temperature, become difficult to live in. In addition, the large port of Mount Yali in Egypt and the Kailua will be covered by the vast Mediterranean Sea. The melting of the ice will also make Australia an inland sea. As for the South Pole, contrary to some predictions, the outline of the South Pole will not be completely unrecognisable. Future time travellers can see a new map of the Earth and identify the outline of the South, North, South and South African. But they may be surprised and confused by the landscape of the South Pole. In fact, even in the current sea level, if all the ice layers are left behind, we will see an island with different sizes, and when all the ice melts, the South Pole will become a large island. The salt level of the seawater will also change. Almost all the glaciers are solid, and there is 12 tons of water. All the melted water will naturally absorb the seawater and reduce its salt level. This delay will lead to ecological disasters. Some marine animals will be extinct, and the ecological balance will be broken. The number of certain plants and animals will increase dramatically, and other species will disappear. This may cause a series of chain reactions, which will lead to global ecological disasters of the marine and land ecosystem. The impact of the melting of glaciers is far more than that. The glaciers have accumulated hundreds of thousands, even millions of years of poison, including the explosion of the volcano and other disasters. When these glaciers melt, all the toxins will be released into the ocean and the atmosphere. This is not a good sign for any life. In addition, the eternal frozen soil also freezes other potential dangerous substances, including chemical compounds, ancient viruses and bacteria, and even the abandoned nuclear waste. In fact, ice melting does not happen alone. It will follow other global changes to cause chain reactions. A scientific team of human scientists, ecologists, and climate change experts. After a comprehensive investigation, a detailed report on global climate change was compiled. This article was published on the website of the US National Academy of Sciences. The future of human climate survival has attracted global attention. The report also shows some very serious and worrying data. The forecast shows that by 2070, the average temperature on the Earth every year will be over 29 degrees Celsius and will expand from 0.8% to 19%. It should be noted that 29 degrees Celsius is the average temperature of the Sahara Desert. The largest area of the Earth's population will become extremely hot and difficult to survive, and even not suitable for living. And all this may happen before all the glaciers melt. Let's think about the impact of Earth's rotation on the length of the white boat. At first glance, the length of the white boat seems to have nothing to do with the melting of the ice. But global warming may affect the rotation speed of the Earth. For example, the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River in China only slowed the Earth's rotation speed by 0.06 seconds. Although it is not much, it is not zero. When the ice melts, the water will move from two levels to the Earth. Earth's rotation speed may slow down. The white curse will increase by 10 to 20 seconds. Although these increased times seem insignificant, humans will face more survival challenges. At present, about 40% of humans live in places within 70 metres of the sea level. As the water level rises, coastal cities and the entire island will be flooded. Countless countries like the Netherlands and Japan may disappear. Countless governments have invested billions in the slow and inevitable flood. But eventually, 40% of the population will have to move in and leave the coastal cities. The area will become too crowded. Humans will experience the severe test of excessive population. India's Jalga and China's Shanghai and other densely populated ports are flooded. Not only will it cause huge casualties, but also economic losses. Melting glaciers will destroy the port's infrastructure. Fisheries face huge challenges. Agriculture and global food economy will also be affected. So, is there any good news? There really is. Scientists point out that the melting of the Arctic ice cover and the ice mountain may have some positive results in terms of the environment and economy. But these benefits can't be compensated for. We can only hope that these opportunities can provide help for humans in the new environment. For example, by 2000, most of the Arctic waters will be completely ice-free. This will open a new route for the shipping of goods on the sea. The melting of the ice will bring new opportunities for the development of the northern continent. For example, it is one of the most promising carbon fibre products. Alaska also hides a lot of natural gas, oil, copper and copper. In the field of mining development, South Dakota and Greenland may provide help to mankind. Because after losing a lot of mining resources, these places will become usable. After discussing the disasters that global warming may bring, we must live more responsibly to reduce carbon emissions and prevent the future of bad luck. Fortunately, we still have time, as long as we have will and determination to change for a better future, to avoid the terrible consequences we have just learned.